my family members ratted me out, and my grandma ended up finding out. She deleted me off of Facebook. She was ignoring my text messages, and she was just so angry with me because the rest of my family could not believe that I was getting tattoos. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about my tattoos. I've been asked to make this video a couple of times now, so let's dive right in. So I'm going to start off by saying that I get my tattoos done at Immortal Canvas by a wonderful person named Anastasia. I will post her information down below in case any of you decide that you'd like to book with her. I was referred to Anastasia by my mom. Ever since she met her, she'd been getting all of her tattoos done by her, so I only felt right to go to her as soon as I started, or as soon as I had the idea to get a tattoo. So for my first tattoo, I was 18. And you know, of course, when you're 18 and you think, oh, I want a tattoo, and it's just because you're 18, it's one of the things that you can do when you become a legal adult. My mom said, okay, let's go and we'll go get a tattoo done. What do you want to get? So, as any person would, or first-time tattooer would, I scrolled through Pinterest and I was looking for what I wanted, and I came across the infinity sign. Of course, it was the one, I think it just said love, and it was the infinity sign. I will insert a picture of what it looks like here. I got my first tattoo here on my shoulder, and I'll be showing close-ups of all of my tattoos and everything. It was very small, it's probably about that big, and it only took, I want to say 15 minutes, and my mom tried to explain to me what a tattoo felt like, so she said that it just felt like somebody pinching you, and she would pinch me or try to explain the feeling. So when I went in, and I was so nervous, of course, and she told me that it was going to be pretty quick. So she starts tattooing, and immediately, I swear, I was ready to tap out right there and then. To me, that was like the worst pain that I had ever felt. I don't have any piercings. My ears were pierced when I was little, so I don't have any type of thing that I can relate to, I don't know, body piercings or any other tattoos that I would know what it felt like. I was ready to tap out then and there, and my mom just kept giving me this look like, I swear to God, if you embarrass me and you can't finish this tattoo, like it was just the look, like that's what she was telling me. So I ended up getting it done, and I finished, I made it through, and I was totally in love with it because I thought I was such a badass with my one tattoo on my shoulder. I remember after that tattoo appointment, I said, I am never getting a tattoo ever again. I think about a year and a half or two went by, and I was like, I want another tattoo. I had just got out of a horrible relationship, and I felt like, you know how some girls will cut their hair or color it or change their appearance in one way or another. I felt like I needed a tattoo. So I had this idea that I wanted a lion, and I wanted this beautiful lion that I had found online somewhere. I don't even know. It was just a very pretty picture, and lions are my absolute favorite animal. I just think that they're the most beautiful creature on earth, and I love the lion's mane and everything about them, their eyes and how ferocious they are, but also so beautiful. I had this idea that I wanted to get a lion with a flower crown. I sent the photo over to Anastasia, and she drew it up, and I also asked her if the eye color of the lion could be similar to a photo that I had of my eye color when the sun hits it, which is a very golden color. So I went in, and she asked me where I wanted it, and I got it on my thigh, and that tattoo was, I think it was 5 hours, which obviously going from a 15-minute tattoo to a 5-hour tattoo after saying that this one hurt me, my mom didn't think that I would even make it 5 minutes in. I made it through the whole thing. She only had to stop once to use the restroom, and that tattoo is probably the least painful tattoo that I got out of all of mine. I think just because it was in a really meaty area, I didn't feel too much pain in comparison to somewhere which was right on the bone on my shoulder. So the only areas that seemed to hurt was when she moved closer and closer to my inner thigh, because it does go pretty far into my thigh, and of course if somebody were to pinch you on your inner thigh, that's not going to feel great at all. My next tattoo after that, I literally had to make a list because I don't remember the order of my tattoos, so if you notice me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. So my next tattoo, I got the infinity sign, and to me, and no offense to anybody that has them, but to me I just felt like it was so overdone and everybody had one, and I was just like, God, I don't feel original at all. I was like, I need to get this covered up, and it's nothing against Anastasia's artwork at all, because clearly all of my tattoos are done by her. It was just the fact that I felt like, oh, that girl has one, and that person has one, and that person has one. Maybe it wasn't identical, but they were just tweaked a little bit. So I said, I need to get a cover up. I, at that time, was really into records, and I still am, but that had just like was a part of my life. So I got really into music, and I absolutely love the band Nirvana, and I love Kurt Cobain's daughter, Frances Bean Cobain. So I think that she's stunning. So I found a picture of her, and I was saying that I somehow want to incorporate music, but also create a cover up. And I think I had seen a drawing on Pinterest or a drawing on the internet somewhere, because once I realized that Pinterest was all pretty much just very common tattoos, I started looking up drawings done by artists in comparison to Pinteresting tattoo of or tattoo. From now on, I just type in drawings, or I just search an image and then see how Anastasia can tweak it. I wanted to take the record and use a picture, or use Frances Bean Cobain as a, not her exactly, but to use her as reference, I guess you would say, to create a record with her face in the inside with very bold red lipstick. So I'll insert the picture because it's kind of hard to explain. So we needed something very dark to be able to cover up the original first tattoo. The record acted as that very dark piece to cover up the old tattoo, so you wouldn't be able to see anything through it. So my next tattoo has to do with my grandmother. A couple years ago, my grandma went in for a gallbladder procedure, and they ended up finding cancer, and it turned out to be pancreatic cancer. Once diagnosed, things progressed very quickly, and she ended up passing very suddenly. And my grandma played a huge role in my life. I ended up going through some of the cards that she had written me, some old birthday cards and things like that, and I found some of her handwriting that I absolutely loved the way that she had written it, and it just said, love you, Mom, and then it included like some other family members, but I just wanted to put the love you on my arm, which I have right here. So that meant a lot to me, and my mom ended up getting some of my grandma's handwriting on her arm as well, so we went and got those done. Speaking of my grandmother, which I completely forgot this story, my grandma knew that I got that first tattoo, and it was very tiny, and she said, oh, it's very beautiful. And when I went in for my lion tattoo, my grandma had absolutely no idea, because my grandma is not a big person for tattoos. She always was like, oh, you know, you don't want to walk down the aisle in your wedding dress with a bunch of tattoos all over you, which I did. I ended up not telling her about the lion tattoo, and I think I posted it on social media, and one of my family members ratted me out, and my grandma ended up finding out. She deleted me off of Facebook. She was ignoring my text messages, and she was just so angry with me because the rest of my family could not believe that I was getting tattoos. So it ended up getting resolved, obviously, but I just remember when I got my grandma's handwriting, I was like, oh God, she's probably looking down at me right now, and she's like, what are you doing? From this point on, I'm sure that she's just like, not another one. She would always tell my mother that she was like an art piece. She could hang her up on the wall. She had so many tattoos. My next tattoo, I think I got done while I was in hair school. I was still like finding out about new music and figuring out a genre of music that I liked, because I didn't really listen to too much music when I was younger, and I never really had a love for music when I was younger. I loved singing, but I couldn't really figure out what genre of music I liked. But once I was introduced to rock and roll, I was like, I gotta get, you know, some more rock and roll pieces, some things like that. I feel like a lot of current day music just isn't anything that's enjoyable. There are certain things that I can enjoy, but I would prefer to listen to old music compared to music from today. I got here on my arm the rock and roll symbol, which somebody told me that I guess this also means Satan. I don't know if that's true, but I guess if that's what people think, then I guess they think that I worship Satan. And that's on my arm is actually Anastasia's arm or hand, which she used for reference. So she took a picture of her like this, and she added like some pretty design at the bottom of it, and then the fingernails are like, I think they're called coffin, is the style of like nail, the shape of nail. This is one of my absolute favorite tattoos. After that, I had seen, I think you pronounce her name Acacia. She's another YouTuber. I had seen her post a picture on Instagram of some flower work that she had done on her arm, and I think that was like the only tattoo that she had on her arm. I saw that picture of her and I was like, oh my god, that's absolutely stunning. It's just black ink and there wasn't any color to it. I said, okay, we'll go and we'll fill in that spot with flowers, and I can't remember the name of the flowers that she used. I have so much trust in Anastasia. She'll show me the picture and I'll be like, all right, we're good to go. So she put in some of that around the rock and roll tattoo. After that tattoo, Dan and I had got our first dog, and I was like, oh, you know, I'm really itching for a new tattoo. And I was again scrolling through Pinterest, and I found this drawing of a girl, and she's in like this leather jacket with studs on the outside, and they're like the pointy ones, and she's got this beautiful slick back purple hair, and she's holding a deer, and she's got birds on her, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. But I wonder if I can take the deer and make it my dog, Ranger. So I asked Anastasia, and she said, yeah, can you just send me a picture of you guys holding Ranger in a similar way? So I sent her that picture, and she ended up making this. This is little Ranger when he was a baby and much smaller, and he had a little bow tie on. And a lot of people ask me if the girl is me because I made the deer Ranger, and she's not. It's just I just wanted to incorporate my dog one way or another, and I just thought that she was pretty badass, so I put her in there. I can't remember how long this piece was, but it didn't hurt very badly at all. Again, I think those fatty areas tend to make things a lot easier when it comes to getting larger pieces. When the piece came in here in the inner arm, and then when you're working back here where the skin is more sensitive, that does tend to hurt more. But this being my 4th or 5th tattoo, I had somewhat gotten used to the pain in general. And honestly, when I get tattoos now, it's almost like going and getting a massage. So when you go and you get a pedicure and you feel so relaxed, and to me it's like relieving stress. After this tattoo, I can't even think about how many, maybe a year or 2 years went by, because I got this piece while I was still in school. I ended up getting married, and then I found out I was pregnant before I got married, so of course I couldn't get any tattoos while pregnant. So before I even had Isla, I think I booked my next tattoo, because I was like, I know I want to get something for the baby. I need to get a tattoo. It's been forever, and I was so envious of Dan because he had gone to go get tattoos by her multiple times, and I was just like, oh, I need to get in there. I was going to go in, and I was just going to get Isla's name. I was trying to think of what I wanted. I was like, oh, should I just get her initials and do something very dainty? Should I go out and do something big? I ended up just getting her name here on my arm. This font was actually on one of her blankets that you can use to take pictures of like her monthly photos, and I just loved the way the font looked, and I was like, wow, I was like, that would be really pretty on my arm where my grandma's handwriting is. So I put Isla's name here. This didn't hurt very badly. The only thing that hurt was when she got to the tip of the eye that's right here on the bone. And I have some work here on this bone too. I always say after childbirth, I would take the pain of a tattoo in comparison to labor. I was just going to get this, and I was, again, I swear, this sounds so basic. I was scrolling through Pinterest, and I saw a photo of a rabbit, and I had actually seen 2, and one of the rabbits was just very realistic. It was a black and white sketch that I thought was beautiful, and the other photo was like this cartoonish like rabbit with some very retro glasses and a cute little top, like a top headband knot. So I sent both of those pictures to Anastasia, and I said, I really would like this rabbit, but can we add a little bit of a twist to it? This is my rabbit, and she's got her little top knot on there. Anastasia actually drew up 3 different photos. I could either have this top knot, the ears could be straight up, And then there was also a top knot that was very similar to Isla's, where it kind of looks like a donut on the head. It's by the Top Knot company. So she gave me a couple different options, but I chose the floppy ears, one up, one down, and then the little top knot like Isla's. She's got a couple bows that are just a knot with like the two pieces hanging off, and I absolutely loved it because Isla a couple weeks or months ago, I haven't really seen her do it lately, but she, her foot, and I don't know if this is when she would stretch or if when she would just like put her leg out, would kind of shake and tap like Thumper. So I thought that it was absolutely adorable because this rabbit not only just is a pretty piece of artwork that I like to have on me, but it also represents my daughter and her cute little thing that she used to do with her foot. Those are all of my tattoos, but I have an appointment on August 1st and I plan on taking you guys with me. I'm not too sure what I'm going to get done. I'm not sure if I want to work on my lion some more because I got my lion done in 2014 and I haven't had it touched up since, so I don't know if I want to work more on my lion or if I want to add more onto my sleeve. It'll be a surprise for you guys too. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and if you have any more questions that I didn't answer about my tattoos, please comment down below and I'll be sure to answer those. Thank you for watching my video, and like and subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.